What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, Vic Schaefer goes scorched earth. The Lady Vols respond to their coach. We saw Olivia Miles show the WNBA Scouts what she is all about. And I am headed to LSU. Quit in the morning starts right now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
We have no heart. We're not tough, and it's really my staff and I were just really frustrated that we're coaching that. I'm fixing to go call my AD and tell him, man, I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry, because I am, and that's not the way you represent the University of Texas. And I wear it. I'm accountable. That's my team, but it's so disappointing. It's probably the softest team I've had in years. I had a coach spent 2 weeks on a scout, and we go out there and absolutely kicked it on executing it. We can't get the simplest thing done in a scout. But yet we walk around, we whine, we complain. It's just embarrassing. I can't remember when I've been this embarrassed over the lack of heart. And again, I'm responsible. I am absolutely responsible. You're either coaching it or allowing it. You're either coaching it or allowing it. And I'm responsible for it. The proof is in the pudding. And I need to remind myself of that. I get to listening to too many people who think they know instead of just doing it my way. If they're not going to get in the cold tub and get rehabbed, okay, then you're going to be tired the next day. If you're not going to get in cryo, then you're going to be tired. But me taking it easy, me not practicing hard because somebody else does that or everybody else does that, I've never done that. Never. And my teams are always better in February and March. Always. But we're not tough. We have no toughness. This team is as soft as it's the softest team I've ever had. They have no toughness. Again, that translates from practices. My fault. My fault. So again, it's probably a little bit of both. And again, I'll wear it. No problem. My fault. I'll wear all of it. But it's going to stop now. I don't want to hear, I've told my staff, I don't want to hear about anybody being tired, sore, whatever. It's time to go to work. That's it. That's how you fix that. You just go to work. But to sit around and think that it's not this fault or this fault, you know what? We all need to be accountable. And when I say that, again, I've had teams, all they got was a scholarship. And they laid it on the line. I never had to coach their heart. Never. I'm out there coaching heart tonight, y'all. That ain't it. Not at Texas.
So that was yesterday as Vic Schaefer went off in the post-game presser. And I wanted to show an extended sort of clip. It was a couple of parts in his post-game presser that I went to. And the reason for that, I know it's kind of long, but the reason for that is I wanted to show kind of his thought process around the whole thing, and I wanted to just sort of talk about it. Number one, he's right. His team plays off. And he kind of alluded to this being like a thing that's been present all season and how he's been easier on his team and all that good stuff. And as I was sort of listening to it, I was like, well, I mean, Texas, in my opinion, hadn't played soft like this until yesterday. If you don't know, Texas lost to Vandy. The final score was 86 Vandy, 70 Texas. And it really was a game that was out of hand. At one point, Texas was losing by 26 points, right? Vandy led almost every single minute of the game yesterday. And yeah, Texas was super soft. They were soft. They seemed like they were lazy. And they just didn't seem like they were really in the game. And to be honest with you, this is the first time I've seen that all season. But the way that Coach Schaefer was kind of talking about it, it seemed like it's a thing that he's seen this year. And he's like, hey, you know what? I take responsibility because you're coaching it or you're allowing it, right? And this is what I think is the big difference between if you all remember a couple of days ago when Tennessee's head coach kind of went off. We're going to talk more about how the Lady Vols responded to that. But I had an issue with the way she did it because it felt like, oh, that team, like them, the players, that's the issue. The players. Whereas Vic was like, yeah, these players are playing super soft, and I got to take responsibility. I take full responsibility. I've been listening to other people that have changed the way that I have coached, and never again. We're not doing that again. And to me, I think that's a huge difference. Vic Schaefer is not whining in this post-game presser. He's not. He's pissed at his team. He's calling them out, and he's saying the things I have allowed in the past, I'm not doing anymore because it's my fault this happened. I was too easy on y'all, and that's not happening again. And dog, I was just like, okay, I like it. We'll see how they end up responding. But I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, he went scorched earth. We saw in the second half, he ended up benching Rory Harmon, though. Don't call it a benching. He's like, it's a substitution, which is a benching. Like one of the reporters asked about benching Rory Harmon, and he seemed to take that a little bit personal. But like, she was benched. She was, right? She just was. Her and Jordan Lee were benched, right? And Vic seems to be open to maybe making some changes in the starting lineup, according to the post-game presser. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Now, who did Texas play? Well, they played Vandy. And I think it's important for us to talk about it. Vandy is a really good team. And I want to talk about how Shea Ralph has turned this team into a top contender in the SEC. When she took over at Vandy was basically at the bottom. They were at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the SEC. They were not very good at all. And over the course of a couple of years, yes, she does have that UConn DNA, right? Was an assistant coach for several years for UConn, goes over to Vandy, and has turned this team into a bona fide, not just SEC team, not just a team that's probably going to make it possibly to the SEC finals, possibly, but also a team that is going to make it deep into the NCAA tournament. And the reason why is last year, you all remember, we had Camille Pierre and we had Michaela Blakes. And those two players was, in my opinion, a fantastic dynamic duo. They were great. And when Camille Pierre left, transferred away, it was a question mark in my head of like, okay, we all know Michaela Blakes is still her. We still know she's going to cook. But does Vandy have the talent outside of Michaela Blakes to make stuff happen? And in comes a freshman that I didn't know about. A freshman from Deerfield, Illinois. Her name is Aubrey Galvin. She is 5'6", and she plays big. She got to the bucket several times. And it was one. I wish I would have clipped it out. It was like the shot was like partially blocked, and then it still went in. Like it was a wild in my like kind of like circus type of shot. And I was like, girl, you better do your thing. Aubrey Galvin, the freshman, the 5'6" freshman, plays all 40 minutes, which is like Michaela Blake's level minutes, right? 18 points, shoots very efficiently, 2 threes in yesterday's game, 8 rebounds as a 5'6" freshman, 5 assists. She's huge. Michaela Blake's is fantastic. I've talked about her before. We already talked about how I think she's a huge contender for player of the year. And when we talk about Vandy, it's not just Michaela Blake's, because Aubrey Galvin has really shown that she can be kind of like a Rotman to the Batman that is Michaela Blake's. Because who's making sure Michaela Blake's gets the ball in good positions and to make stuff happen? Aubrey Galvin. Who is kind of rebounding with the best of them? Aubrey Galvin. Who is someone who Vandy can count on if Michaela Blake's can't do it all on her own? Aubrey Galvin. She's been amazing. Again, yesterday, 18 points, but if you all remember, just a couple days ago against Oklahoma when she had 30 points, right? She's a really good player. And the reason why Vandy is as good as they are is, yes, of course, Michaela Blake's is great. But I don't see them being as good as they are if it's not for the dynamic duo of both Michaela Blake's and Aubrey Galvin. So yes, Michaela Blake's for player of the year. Aubrey Galvin, I mean, at this point, the way that she severely helped to decimate Oklahoma, I mean, the freshman of the year in the SEC was basically going, was not Aubrey Galvin's to have coming into Monday, right? The freshman of the year, that's Aaliyah Chavez, right? That's who it was for the SEC. It was going to be Aaliyah Chavez, but you see Aubrey Galvin dominate the way she did against Oklahoma. We see how big of an asset she has really been all season, but especially as of late. Big game against Kentucky, big game against Oklahoma, big game yesterday against Texas. And it makes me wonder, when is it where Aubrey Galvin will be considered the consensus SEC freshman of the year? At what point is she going to be the consensus freshman of the year? After just dominating against who everybody thought was going to be the freshman of the year before. I'm just saying. So you might have a player of the year, a freshman of the year, and a coach of the year all on one team. Might. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. But the way that this Vanderbilt team is going, sky's the limit. And Shea Ralph is doing it. Now, again, I can't stand watching Vandy games at home because I don't like the way their court is situated. Like I don't like it. I think it's just weird. Like how they're not, the players aren't on like the bench is not on the sideline. It's like on the baseline, and then like it's weird. But this team is flat out fantastic. They've lost only 2 games this season. Right? They have looked so good. Yes, they lost to South Carolina. Yes, they lost to Ole Miss. But we have seen this team rebound from those 2 back-to-back losses so well. And they are looking really good right now. And so they still got some big games ahead. They will be playing Bama. They'll be playing Kentucky again and Tennessee. And so those are definitely games that you all should be watching out for, and games that'll help continue the narrative of like, hey, maybe those 3 warts should be going to Vandy. I mean, I'm just saying. This team, again, 24-2 on the year. Now, y'all want to know something? Y'all want to know something fun? In 2019, Vandy was 14-16 on the year, right? In 2021, they were 16-19 on the year, meaning they won 16 games, 19 losses. In 2022, Vandy was 12-19. And then changes. Implementation. Boom. 2023, 23-10. And then we saw last year, 22-11. And this year, they have only lost 2 games so far this year. What a turnaround. To me, this screams Coach of the Year. It screams it. It screams Coach of the Year. And so we'll see what the powers that be do with that. Manny says Vandy is a Cinderella story we all want to see make it to the ball. Yes, 100%. What a turnaround, ladies and gentlemen. What a turnaround. This is not normal, okay? It's not normal. At the end of the post-game presser for Vic Schaefer, he talked about Shea Ralph and how amazing she really has been, and you know, and what she's meant to this team. Huge. She's only 5 seasons in with Vandy, and boom, boom, boom. Again, they were terrible. One of the worst teams in the SEC. Now, they're sitting at the top, right? You gotta talk about it, right? It's South Carolina, it's LSU, it's Vandy, right? In Texas. They're in the top upper echelon. And it's all about hiring the right person at the right time. And that's what Vandy did with Shea Ralph. That's what they did. And you can't deny the UConn toughness in her. It's just, yeah, she's just great. She's just great. And you can't say last year was a fluke, because last year Vandy was really good. This year, even better. And Aubrey Galvin, freshman. Remember, guys, Michaela Blakes, how old is she? Michaela Blakes is only a sophomore. So we got a lot of additional time. And I will just say this. I just want to give a personal shout out. Because yesterday, I saw somebody who, doesn't get a ton of love and also doesn't get a ton of minutes. But I thought yesterday she played really well, though offensively she didn't do really anything. Aaliyah Del Rosario. All right. I thought Aaliyah Del Rosario played fantastic in the minutes that she had. All right. Couple blocks. Defensively, she was on it. And yeah, she didn't score, but scoring isn't everything. How can you impact the game? And I thought she impacted the game really, really well off the bench. So shout out to Aaliyah Del Rosario. Okay. All right. Next up, let's talk about the Lady Volunteers.
Players, just after Sunday's game, Kim was pretty honest with us about what she saw, and I'm sure she's sharing similar things with you guys. Do you feel like as a team that was something you guys needed to hear in that moment, and how did that motivate you guys to turn the page and respond?
It definitely motivated us. Sometimes you gotta hear the truth, and sometimes the truth is hard to hear. And we understood that we all have to do our part. Not one person, not two people, but we all have to do what we can and give our 100% effort.
I think that was good to hear. We wanted to prove ourselves wrong. So, like I said, we came out today and, tried to do that.
Listen, I mean, there was a lot of noise this week, and you got a lot of young players, and this is your second year. How proud are you of this team? How proud of this team are you that they were able to absorb everything said and done and respond like this tonight?
Yeah, they absorbed it pretty quick. I mean, we had an off day, and by the end of the next day, we were moving on. We were moving forward, and I think they did a great job with it and said, "Hey, this is what it looks like. This is whether you feel like you're doing it or not. This is what it looks like. We got to stop it."
John.
When you think about just, I guess, the practices this week, shoot around, warm ups, and the game tonight, what was most important to you about their response that you saw, whether it, body language or energy, or what really stuck out to you?
I think what stuck out to me was we had people that really responded to trying to lead and attention to detail, and it was a wake-up call, I think, across the board. And I think every person just was a little more on edge and a little more, hey, we do have to fix this. This is not acceptable. And the attention to detail, repeating things, eye contact, body language, all of it was better. And then again, we're not going to check this box. This box is going to remain unchecked. We're going to continue to work on this all year.
So that was Tennessee's head coach, Kim Caldwell, talking after yesterday's game between Tennessee and Missouri, where Tennessee gave Mizzou the business, ended up winning 98-53. Now, a couple things to know about this game. This game featured the return of Kelly Harper to Tennessee. Remember, Kelly Harper was the coach at Tennessee until they let her go 2 seasons ago, she spent last season not with the team. This year, she was hired to coach Missouri, and this is her first time back as a coach for. At Tennessee. And so that was kind of a return. And sometimes you would like to have a triumphant return, but for her and her team, triumphant was not what they got at Tennessee, as Mizzou just got clobbered. Sometimes you don't want to be the team that faces a team who just got publicly challenged. Coach Kim Caldwell called out Tennessee, she did her version of scorched earth, in the post game when Tennessee got demolished by South Carolina. She called out the players for playing, horrible basketball, playing soft, not playing the way they're supposed to be playing, and blah 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 blah. Like she really went off. And at the time, I told y'all, like I understood her frustration, but I did kind of feel like it was very much like, oh, everything's on the players. And I was curious to see how players responded to that. And, the proof is in the pudding. From the game itself, watching the game itself, and listening to what some of the players had to say in the postgame, it was very clear that it worked, right? It absolutely worked. Kim Caldwell publicly challenging her team and getting them to focus, it worked. Though, again, I gotta say, it was against Mizzou, which Mizzou is not very good, right? They're not very good this year. They're 4-8 in conference play. They haven't really been successful. They haven't beat a ranked team this season, and they've struggled. So it's not like you were amazing against a really good team. But even with that said, it did feel like Tennessee came out with way more intensity. All right? It did feel like they came out with more intensity. They were more focused, and they weren't attempting a lot of stupid stuff. in the last game against South Carolina. Like, we saw a lot of like, oh, I'm going to just take it and do my own thing and whatever. And we saw a lot of missed shots. A lot of missed shots for Tennessee. And it felt like yesterday they did a better job of getting more players involved, actually running a real offense. And again, it's against Mizzou. So that caveat being said, they just overall looked way better on the court. Janiah Barker looked like a true leader, right? She was out there doing her thing, 22 points for her, 8 rebounds. She looked great. And the question is, how does Tennessee look against Texas? Because you get embarrassed against South Carolina. You play a definitely weaker Missouri team that did not have one of their post players, which was a huge thing. What do you do against Texas? How do you play on Sunday? That's the question I have for Tennessee. That'll determine everything. Yes, they rebounded great yesterday. But that's against Missouri. You got Texas and you got Ole Miss staring you in the face. How are you going to respond to that? How are you going to show up to that and bring toughness from the start? Give a full 40 minutes of great play. We'll see. That's the real question. Because when they play Texas, y'all just heard early in the video, Vic Schaefer, he just publicly challenged his team. And so we might see Tennessee get knocked out the park because Texas, I think they're going to have a crazy rebound. Just saying. Jigan says, could the SEC tournament be better than the NCAA tournament? In terms of a condensed tournament featuring like every game basically being a battle, yes. But also the NCAA tournament is longer. It features more teams, and there's just more opportunities for fun things to happen. But the condensed nature of the SEC tournament, it's going to be really, really good. And I'm kind of bummed that I won't be going to the SEC tournament this year. I'm going to the Big Ten tournament because it's in Indianapolis and it's not far. I could just drive there. But I should have figured out a way to do the SEC tournament because that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be amazing. It really is. All right. Speaking of amazing, guys, Olivia Miles. Yesterday we saw TCU, who has had a little bit of a interesting season, right? TCU is 22-4 on the season, and it's like overall, like they don't have a ton of losses. However, they do have some, in my opinion, odd losses that like is interesting. Like for example, they lost 3 games so far in the Big 12, which the Big 12 is more competitive than people like to say. It's not like nowhere near SEC level, but like it you can get got if you don't show up. And TCU has had some like they didn't show up and they got moments. They lost to Texas Tech, they lost to Colorado, they lost to Utah. But yesterday they handled business against Baylor, and I was actually a little surprised. Actually, I was a lot surprised that like Baylor just didn't show up. Like I don't know. Maybe Nikki Collins got to do her own y'all playing too soft and blah 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 to get her team to make some stuff happen. Because like I was like, oh man, Baylor, should you be losing like this? I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, we saw TCU beat Baylor 83-67. And in that game, we saw two players. Okay. This is what I'm talking about with Nikki Collins needing to say something to her team. Nikki Collins, if you don't know, she's a head coach of Baylor. Okay, here's the thing. In this game, Olivia Miles scores 40 points. 40. She goes 10 of 20 from the three. The fact that she basically was like just coming down the court looking for a 3-point shot. Like that's what she was doing. She was like, okay, I'm trying to get myself set up for a 3-point shot. 20 3-point attempts in a game for one player. That's insane. And the fact that she was 50% from the three is even more insane. Even more insane than that. Even more insane than allowing your opponent to score, one player to score 40 points, is to allow two players to tie your entire team in scoring. Baylor, where were you? Pathetic defense. Pathetic. And no real offense. Not only does Olivia Miles score 40 points, Marta Suarez scores 27 points yesterday. Combine that's 67 points. Two people, Olivia Miles and Marta Suarez, 67 points. Your entire team scores 67 points. Dog, come on, Baylor. I know you're a way better team than that. I know you're a way better team than that. And so, yeah, you got to play better. You got to. And so, shout out to the awesome Olivia Miles. She really did show up and show out for the WNBA Scouts that were watching yesterday's game. And she's basically showing people that, hey, I'm not just a point guard. I know that that's the rap I get. I know. I understand that. Everyone knows I'm a point guard and I can pass the ball with the best of them. But also, I can shoot as well. And so, WNBA Scouts, they watched that game. They watched that game and they're like, okay, 10 threes? 10 made threes in a game? Insane. Yes, please hit that like button if you could. That would be awesome. Yes. Marshall says, good morning. 224 people watching and only 41 likes. Hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel, and QITM puts in too much work and time to get us this great information. Hit the thumbs up, please. Yes, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel out a whole lot, okay? Yes. You hit automatically, just hit the like button as you're joining into the show. It doesn't seem like it does a lot, but it really does. And it's totally free to hit that button. Hit the like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are going towards March right now, and this channel is about to go crazy. We're about to have the most in-depth coverage of these conference tournaments and leading into the NCAA tournament. The best on YouTube. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel because I'm going to be giving y'all historical facts about what's going on because I've been watching it for forever. I'm going to give y'all the current stuff, the current talk of like what's happening, the X's and O's of what's happening in the actual games. We're gonna go to the post game pressers, and I'm gonna give y'all some audio from that. We're going to go through everything all in about 30 minutes every single day. So absolutely keep watching for the rest of February, but we're about to go crazy in March. So make sure to tap in, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. Not just the main channel, but this channel because so you can get notifications. All right. And finally, y'all, I got my bag packed and I am ready to go. All right. If y'all don't know, QITM will be in the building for LSU versus South Carolina in Baton Rouge. So I am headed there. I'm so excited for the game that has been on my list since Tisha was like, "Hey, you want to go?" I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to go," and I'm excited. So if y'all will be in Baton Rouge for that game, I'm excited to see y'all there. I will be there and ready to see what we see. Hey, here's the thing. I will make sure to film as much as I can. So like tomorrow, expect to see a lot of lives, assuming I have a good signal. Fingers crossed I have a good signal. I'll be going live, walking through the LSU campus, doing a similar thing to what I did with South Carolina. And also, if you are from LSU or you know that campus, what's the best store to go to get women's basketball LSU swag? What's the best store? I got a t-shirt from South Carolina. I need a LSU shirt. All right? I need an LSU shirt, not just a random LSU shirt. I need an LSU women's basketball shirt. So, hit me up, tell me the stores or one of the stores I should be going to that sells women's basketball shirts. And so yeah, I will be there. I will also be at this. They got a pregame fan fest happening, so I'll be there as well. It's gonna be fun. I'm so excited. College game day is gonna be there. It's gonna be great. It's really gonna be great. Apollo says the student union. The student union has women's basketball merch. But yeah, I'll try to bring y'all in through everything. All right. I will try my best to record everything and go live constantly. So look forward to it. All right. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yay, we are over 100 likes. I love it. All right, let me go because I have a flight to catch. I will see y'all in the next one. And also, there's a conversation going online about the show. Who had it first? LSU was using the show as their sort of like thing. And South Carolina's like, we've been using that for forever. Like, y'all not the first ones. It's a whole random conversation. I was just like, oh, does it actually matter? I don't know if it matters. But I just think it's fun that fans are like going back and forth and be like, no, we're more of the show than you are. All right, anyway, I'll see y'all the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.